Welcome back, everyone, to Florida Powerboat Club's YouTube channel as we continue coverage of our 2020 event series, kicking off with our first event of the year, the Winter Poker Run to Marathon in the Florida Keys. And we are now moving into episode number 2 with feature coverage of this event, which enjoyed beautiful weather in the middle of January as about 25 teams gathered from all over the country to join us. Florida Powerboat Club's 2020 series sponsors include Deep Impact Custom Boats and their associated brand, Blackwater Boats, Nortec High Performance Boats, Midnight Express Powerboats, Myco Trailers, Performance Boat Center, Mystic Powerboats, Superior Communications, and Mercury Racing Wide Open. We left off on the last episode. We were running with the teams from Miami down to the Florida Keys. We stopped off for some lunch at Sundowners in Key Largo, continuing into the Middle Keys, arriving at the landmark Faro Blanco Resort. And it is in the marina there that we docked all of the boats with accommodations at the Hyatt Place and also next door at the Courtyard Marriott Resort. We got right down to the business of poker and played out all of the poker hands on Friday night at the Lighthouse Grill. Then on Saturday, we awoke to beautiful temperatures and calm waterways. Had a little captain's meeting dockside so we could make the best of the situation for everybody, and most importantly, to get some great video so we could share this right here on our YouTube channel. Our plan was to get out on some of these beautiful Middle Keys waterways, which is exactly what we did, starting out on the bay side, making our way down southbound towards Bahia Honda, and that is where we left off with our group as we staged all of the teams into smaller groups so that we could take our time and really maximize this photo and video opportunity passing through this amazing Bahia Honda channel, which is about at mile marker 37 on US Highway 1. So here we are now flying high at that landmark Bahia Honda Bridge as we see the Deep Impact leading the group. The center consoles are actually kicking things off. We broke everybody up from center console to performance V-bottom and then high performance catamaran, and we ran the groups individually, and you can see from up here just how great the conditions are today. The winds are so light that it's equally calm in both the bay side and also on the ocean side, and that's going to give everybody a great ride as they pass out here into these coastal waters. Now here's an image that we've seen a lot on the Key West offshore poker run. If the teams were to make a right turn now and head on a southwest heading about 37 miles, they'd be in Key West Harbor. But today, instead, we're going to make a left turn and head back up through the coastal waters towards the 7 Mile Bridge. I'm now spotting Tom Gorzes from Team OPA 2, that 42-foot cigarette huntress. We got a chance to catch up with Tom a little later in the day. Here's what he had to say about his weekend in the Florida Keys with FPC. OPA 2 is a 42-foot cigarette huntress, and there was a previous OPA 1, and it was also a 42 huntress. That one was blue, this one's white. I guess Tom Gorzes is a die-hard cigarette owner now, because when I first met him, he had a 43 Nortec Cat, and then he got himself a Statement Center console, but now 2 in a row on the cigarette lineup. So you're digging your cigs.
I love my cigarettes. I had 42 Tiger back in the day, a 42 XP. Love the cigarette brand. I love the speedboats, but I'm sick of being a mechanic half the time, so we needed these outboard engines.
Indeed, we did, and we got some nice outboards on OPA and a nice big stout platform, a wide beam center console, and really ideal for a guy who's got a lot of friends.
We have a lot of boating friends. We have a great crew of people that, we all enjoy doing the same thing, big raft ups. There's a lot of places on the Chesapeake Bay that we go to as a groups, and sure. we just have a really good time down there.
Being down here in January, a lot of people say like, oh, it's too cold to go boating in January, down in South Florida. Well, it's better than the boating in Michigan right now, right? And the boating in Maryland and the boating in Texas and the boating in... So it's all relative, and for anybody to say that it's too cold, I think it's about 80 right now. Would it feel like 80?
It feels great. It really does feel great. And usually, like this time of the year, I'm usually snowmobiling in upstate New York.
Sure.
But I think I'm going to give it up for a little bit because I think I'd rather be doing this.
All right. Well, you made the big leagues this event with your 42 Huntress on the back of the T-shirt and on the banner.
Yeah, thank you.
So I guess that means you've arrived.
Thank you, brother.
And I do want to point out and really thank Tom and his crew for doing 3 in a row. They did the Key West Poker Run 2019 then the Winter Poker Run, and they followed that up with the Miami Boat Show run to Key Largo. So great show from Team OPA2. Now, if I had my cigarette on this event, I'd be joining these guys. This is the Performance V-Bottom class, and we are looking at a cigarette and a couple of Outer Limits right now. They're all going to run together as they pass through that Bahia Honda Bridge. And front runner today is Kevin and Melissa Welsh from Massachusetts in this 42X cigarette powered by Mercury Racing 1100s. And I know all you guys out there watching are asking, so okay, Stu, why isn't the helicopter down on top of the boats? Well, we have time for that. We're going to do that just a little later. The idea here was to get that, what we call money shot, where we're shooting photography as well, still photos. We want to give everyone that big wide shot of them passing through that Bahia Honda Bridge. It's an extremely historic site here in the Florida Keys, and kind of iconic for moviegoers too, because remember the movie True Lies? Well, of course, that was the section that they blew up in the movie. Larry Hill just passed through in his Outer Limits, followed by another Outer Limits, Connor and Allie Toomey from Maryland, their first event with the Florida Powerboat Club. And of course, here's Darius Ariza in his 38-foot Donzi, and he busted a move for the clean water, which got him some great photos, and it looks like Terry Clark followed his lead in the 36-foot Sensation. Now, there's one thing that this Sensation has in common with the 38 Cigarette Project 1080, and that is Mercury Racing 540s. Let's listen to these V8s roar. And Darius has his Mercury Racing 525s all whippled up, pushing up well over 800 horse. Let's listen in as he rides the throttles and pushes our sound decibels right to the limit. Now our chopper circles back to get the catamarans as Barry and Stephanie Henson negotiate this Bahia Honda US 1 bridge. Altogether, 5 catamarans registered on this 24-boat roster, but only 3 of them out today. One of them stayed down in the lower keys. Another had a few mechanical issues, but today we've got Barry Henson leading the pack with this 50-foot skater. They debuted the boat back at the Key West Poker Run just a couple of months earlier. Big monster blower motors. I'm not sure what horsepower, but they're so big they fill that engine room completely. And from what I understand, Barry's got this boat running fantastic. And there's your money shot. Now we'll spend some time with Craig and Paula Ackerman from Georgia. They've got the kids along, Brian and Hannah, so they're making this a family affair. And I really want to congratulate them on their tremendous run with this new 34-foot MTI 340X Mercury Racing 400Rs. They got the boat back in August at the Emerald Coast Poker Run, followed by the Key West Poker Run in November, and now here they are in the Florida Keys with us in January, and I know they've got plenty more on their schedule. And I even heard a rumor that those 400Rs are going to go away, and they're going to re-rig the 340X with brand new Mercury Racing 450Rs. Not bad for a family that started with the club just a couple of years earlier in a 29-foot formula. And of course, we've got to congratulate the Ackermans for winning the Winter Poker Run. They pulled the best hand just a night earlier. Last team to play, and Brian pulled the lucky card. And here's another couple who love the performance boating lifestyle, Mark and Susan Monroe from New Jersey in this 36-foot Wright Performance Cat team On Your Mark, powered by Mercury Racing 400s. They took delivery of this boat just 2 years earlier. We caught up with Mark on the dock. Let's hear what he had to say about joining us here on the run. Well, we're Jersey strong here on the dock with Mark Monroe from New Jersey, who's had several boats in the probably 7 or 8 years, Mark, that you've been with the club. But it seems to me that this Wright Performance 360 Cat is doing the job for you. A very pretty boat, wonderful paint job, twin Mercury 400Rs, Verados. You seem to be having a blast.
I'm totally having a blast. Absolutely love speed and love our group and love our team. It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun, and I would have never imagined in my wildest dreams that there'd be so many of these fast cats running around. But everybody, one common word keeps coming up, the reliable, or the no maintenance, or the hassle-free, or the whatever. They seem to like the fact that these outboards are way less maintenance than stern drive boats. But at the same token, you got to agree, because you owned a cigarette, a 39 cigarette Top Gun. You got to agree that that stern drive power, sometimes the power and just the feel of driving that kind of a boat, it's a different kind of a thing.
Right.
But yeah, there's a little more maintenance.
It's night and day. I loved my Sig. I love the noise. You know, I love the speed, different ride. But the Cat, zero maintenance, more speed.
That's it.
It's hard to beat.
It is hard to beat, and it is. And that 360 Right Performance Cat, it has, I think, a little more cockpit space and a little more freeboard than a lot of the other ones out there, which I really like. And it seems to give you the big boat feel that you wouldn't expect to get from a 36 Cat.
You're right. It's a little bigger than some of the other Cats. I think a little more freeboard, sits up a little higher, bigger tunnel.
Yep.
And it runs hard. I can run with any of the big Cats. I can run 120 miles an hour.
Sure.
Even in 2-3 footers, no problem. Run right over them.
Now, your wife Susan is here, and she seems to like boating a lot. Now, has she feel the same way about the Cat, or does she miss the big cushy formula or the cigarette?
She would never go back to a cigarette.
Never go back. Yeah.
She loves the ride. She loves sitting down behind the windshield.
Yeah.
She would never go back to a cigarette. I mean,
Yeah.
I love a cig too.
Yeah.
But you ask me what she likes, that's it.
That's the only thing that matters, right? As long as Mom is happy, we're all happy. Well, anything you want to share with us here on this beautiful dock here at the Barrel Blanca Resort? You've been here before many times, but in the middle of January, I think it's probably pushing 80 right about now, late afternoon, about 4:15. Not a cloud in the sky. We got lucky, didn't we?
Oh my God, amazing. Just love Florida. Love our club. Love all the people in the club, and this is my favorite run of the year.
That's it. Mark it off. Check that box. We got kicked off in 2020, Mark, with a bang. I think no better way to do it than with your friends at the Florida Powerboat Club. And just wish more of the Jersey boys were here because it's a good bunch of guys.
Agreed. I miss them.
And let's get back out on the waterways with all of our teams as we now rendezvous just outside the 7 Mile Bridge in the coastal waters. Again, you can see how calm it is today. I think the Cats took off and headed for Miami, but they'll be back in a few minutes. The next group then is going to be center consoles heading out through the Moser Channel, we call it. That's the 7 Mile Bridge. Kicking things off is John Wittenberger Sr., who's running this 36-foot Sonic center console. He's a longtime veteran of the club. I got to chat with him just a little later. Now, one of the Maryland teams who is, I would say pretty hardcore now, doing 4, 5, 6 in a row. Johnny, you started out in the club in about 05 with a Donzi. You've seen about 5 or 6 boats over the years, different boats. You dropped out of it for a little while, but you're back in it hardcore and make it a family sport.
Oh yeah, we try to do we're doing about 12, 14 poker runs a year. We try to do every event down here with Stu in Florida, and then we head back home. We start in Maryland, Atlantic City, and all up in the New York area.
But let's talk about this one. Winter Poker Run, our smallest event for the entire year, one of the smallest anyway, down around 20, 25 boats. But you seem to enjoy these smaller runs.
Yeah, we enjoy it. We like being around everybody. We have a good time, and we wouldn't miss it.
Now, you brought the Sonic 36. We've seen a lot of that boat. You seem to do fine with those twin 350s. I know you want to have more power. I know you like going faster. Your son's got a little hot rod Spectre 30. So is that Sonic working out for you? Because these 2 motors, you seem like you want to go faster.
I'd like to go faster, but I'm trying to be good right now. We make every event, we go everywhere, and it just holds together, and it's very good to us. You know what I mean?
Well, I would have never thought I'd be sitting here saying that the most active Sonic in the club is the center console, because not many people know this, but I'll share this little bit of history. We started the Florida Powerboat Club in '92, and Sonic Powerboats became our client, and we ran their first rendezvous in '93. And it was under the Sonic flag. It was all Sonics, and we went to Key West. And that became the very first Key West poker run, because next year, the Sonic team, they didn't really want to do anything anymore because they were going through some management issues. That became the first Key West. So that was it'd be 28 years now. Can you believe that?
It's amazing.
And they were from Maryland.
Oh yeah. Now we enjoy the boat, and like I said, I used to go a lot faster, but then there was some issues. I had to cut back with some back surgeries. So now I stay with the center console.
All right, well, we're having a nice day here with that landmark white lighthouse in behind us at the Ferro Blanco, a property that's been got a very special place for me because we started doing runs down here in about 1992. So that was 27, 28 years ago. And it seems like every time we come down here, it just keeps getting better. So here with our friends at Florida Powerboat Club as we enjoy the Winter Poker Run, kicking off 2020 in style. So flying high here as we close in on the landmark 7 Mile Bridge, once again trying to get that money shot as all the teams pass through. But you can see there was traffic just ahead, and I think all of our captains reacted with the right move here by splitting things up and slowing down just a little bit to let this big catamaran pass through. But now as we pass into the protected bay waters again, we're going to be able to speed things up and close in on each team as they head north. Our destination today is going to be the north end of Marathon around the Vaca Channel. We're going to have lunch at the Island Fish Company, one of our favorite lunch spots here in town. Amazing shot there as we see all these center consoles getting into formation. Now let's catch up with Bill Day in this 36-foot glass strings powered by Mercury Racing 400Rs. He's a long way from home in Frankfort, Kentucky, where he's actually a boat dealer. He owns Day's Boat Sales, where he's a glass stream dealer. He's also just recently taken on Fountain Power Boats in Donzie and sells a number of fishing boat lines as well. The Key West Poker Run was his first event with Florida Powerboat Club, but he must have had fun because here he is just 2 months later, back for more. And here's that beautiful Mystic 4200 Ray and Christine Grimaud from New York in Team Big Shot. We saw this boat in the last episode, and I always like to remind everybody that this is a very special weekend for Ray and Christine when they come down on the Winter Poker Run. It was about 3 years ago that they saw this boat for the very first time. It belonged to FPC member Ron Zolak. He had it for sale. They loved it. They did the deal, and it's been theirs ever since. And I also noticed that there's been a big upgrade on the boat. Looking at the T-top, all of that diamond-shaped sea deck material is all brand new. I think it's a great addition, and it makes the boat look fantastic. Not to mention, it gives Christine and her girlfriends a place to dance a little later after they've had a few margaritas at lunch. And guys, here's another one of those money shots. Deep Impact Concept, and of course, Cigarette 41. Doesn't get much better than that. And that leads us into a new introduction, Steve and Teresa Presley, all the way from Tennessee. Their 41-foot Cigarette GTR, living in the moment. It's got 4 Mercury Racing 400Rs. No better way to push this boat than with 1,600 horsepower. I love the graphics. What a beautiful ride. And so happy to have them on board because they just started being active with the club recently. And if there was a bumper sticker on the back of this 41, it would say, "My other boat's a cigarette." And that happens to be a 39 Top Gun with, I believe, Mercury Racing 700 SCIs. And here is a big, beautiful Concept 4400 belonging to Donnie Snyder. He brought this boat on the Key West Poker Run, but we never really got a chance to get such great video as this. This is why these smaller events presents this great opportunity. Check out those 4 Mercury Racing 450Rs with those custom blue accents to pick up the side colors of the boat. And if any of you are looking at this boat saying, "God, it looks awful big," well, indeed it is. All a full cabin forward with plenty of room for all your friends. At the lunch stop, we spoke with Donnie about his new ride. Awesome day here in the Florida Keys. A beautiful Saturday as we just completed our photo assignment, flying the helicopter for 1.1. Donnie Snyder, one of the team players out here, 20 boats all together on the shoot today. Donnie, your brand new Concept 4400 with those Major League 450s. You went all out on this one.
Yes, Stu, we're very happy with the boat. It was a custom build we've been working on for about the last year. And we'd like to, thank you for putting a great event together. It's always a pleasure here, as well as Concept for building us such a beautiful, fine boat with a nice Mercury 450 power.
I can't imagine how fast it is, but it certainly looks fast. We got some great photo and video up in the air, but tell me now, for a guy who came out of an Outer Limits, you still have the boat, you like going fast, but you wanted to have the creature comforts of a big center console. What made you decide to buy that Concept?
To be honest, Stu, you summarized it perfectly. We were looking for the comforts and the luxury of an Intrepid style boat, but frankly, the performance of some of these fine Deep Impacts, MTIs, and other competitive boats.
Yeah. So you wanted to go fast.
Yeah, we wanted something that went fast and had the comforts with the generator, AC unit, stand-up head and whatnot. And Concept put the package together very nicely for us.
Donnie, you're one of many who came far to be here all the way from Connecticut. You do your boating back around the old Saybrook area, you told me. But you do come to Florida quite a bit. Now, I got to guess, how many years now? Probably in the club for 10 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It goes by fast, and always great events on and off with, I think this is about the 5th different boat we've brought to you over the years.
Exactly, a lot of boats. Well, you got to, that's part of the whole scene, right? The boating lifestyle. You got to keep changing them out and keeping fresh, new power, new things come out. Well, listen, great to have you here on the first event for 2020. We're kicking off this new decade with our very first poker run. Any final comments as you go in for your fish sandwich?
No, we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to a nice 2021, and we should have a new addition to the boating family coming at that time. So we're very excited to be engaged in another build, and we'll show you what we have in store for everyone next year.
And back now as we rendezvous with the Performance V-Bottoms, who are sizing up that big 7-mile bridge. Kevin and Melissa Welsh leading the pack through in their 42X cigarette, powered by Mercury Racing 1100s. Once again, we're going to stay wide because we want to give everybody that big, magnificent shot as they pass through that landmark 7-mile bridge. And this is a photo that I think everyone should have on their wall at some point, whether it's a giant poster in the living room or a huge screensaver on your desktop computer. Everyone needs to have this shot, and we are here to create that opportunity for you. And it's on these smaller events that we can plan these photo shoots that have a great outcome for everyone. And it's time for some classics as we catch up with David Wilkes, and he's got his buddy Scott Forte on board, who's also a club member. 43-foot Scarab, classic styling, 2000 model year with that Bubbles paint job, I think they called it. So essentially you're looking at an all-original boat on the outside and on the inside. The engine room has 3 Mercury Racing 500 EFIs. That's about as textbook as it comes back in the late 90s, early 2000 genre. And let's listen to this 43 as he cranks up the throttles and gives us all what we came for. Well, now that the boats are out in open water on the bay side, it's time to close in and get some real good cockpit close-ups, saying hi to Kevin and Melissa and their crew as they enjoy this winter escape to paradise in the middle of January. Let's listen into those Mercury Racing 1100s. And you got to love how these two Outer Limits crews got together for this money shot. Connor and Allie Toomey here in the 39 Outer Limits. They're from Maryland. It's their first event with the club, pair of Mercury Racing 700s. I know they said they had a fantastic time on the event, and Connor called me up later and said he can't wait until the next poker run with the club. They're holding back on the throttles just enough to get another shot here of Larry Hill, poker run veteran with the club, in his 44 GTX. And I think it's time to let her rip, guys. Let's go. And here's a couple that are stepping up their Florida powerboating lifestyle, Terrell and Clara Clark from Texas. We last saw them at the Emerald Coast with a Baja. I think it was a 32 or 33. But now they're enjoying this 36-foot sensation powered by Mercury Racing 540s. Well, we're just about at our lunch stop and out of chopper time, but I want to thank all of our teams for doing a great job on this photo shoot that we did in Marathon. The conditions were perfect, but really you guys did the right thing and stuck together, so we all got some great content from this shoot here, our first event in January. Thanks to our pilot for keeping it safe as we land back here at the Marathon Airport. And I was a little upset that we didn't see our buddy Rocco with his big 52 skater, so we caught up with him a little later to find out why.
Well, you got to give the guys with the big cats a little bit of love because they really come out and put on a show. Andrew Rocco, as we know, our good buddy Rocco, well known around powerboat circles and certainly around the Florida Powerboat Club. He's got the big mothership on this run, a 52-foot skater, 1350s, all the bells and whistles, custom paint, room for the whole family. You having fun? Everything's going great?
It's going great. Spun a blade yesterday, but we pulled in Isla Mirada, got it fixed, and we're here.
You made it. You know, I was a little bit worried when you had the problem, and you said, that's okay. We'll just idle up the Marathon, and I figured out that it was about 38 miles from where you were, so it might have been a late night.
Yeah, at 7.5 miles an hour, it would have taken us a while. So that was a good call to turn into Isla Mirada. It was only a 3-mile run.
Well, the good news is, I'm sure that the ride you had today from Isla Mirada was far better than the ride you would have had yesterday because it got a little chilly at the end yesterday. But the weather's holding out great. You've had a lot of boats in the club. I've ridden with you before on some center consoles. You've owned cigarettes. You've owned a little bit of everything.
Yes.
But this has got to be the Mac Daddy for you.
Absolutely. It's my favorite boat so far. Cruises at about 103 miles an hour, nice and smooth. Goes through some big water, and everybody's comfortable.
And I see lots of speakers. At least probably puts out more sound at the dock than it does while it's running, right?
Absolutely. If you keep your head down below the windshield, you get some good sound. But other than that, all you hear is 4 whining turbos.
Now, we joked about it last night at the party because you were awarded the farthest traveled award for coming all the way from New Hampshire. But then I made a comment to you about, well, it would have been even cooler if you actually trailered the boat all the way here because I thought it was in Florida. And you corrected me on that, and you showed me pictures that you hauled this 52-foot beast behind your F450, or was that what it is?
550, yeah.
550, short wheelbase, 550, all the way from New Hampshire,
Yeah.
1,600 miles.
$736 in wide load permits.
And a lot of fuel, I'm sure, but not as much as you burn when you're in the boat.
It was a great ride. We did it over I think it was 3 nights. Took our time. My wife and I did it, and we had a ball. It was good.
Well, Danielle, I have to give Danielle, extra points for putting up with guys like you and me because we really do get pretty, ate up with this stuff, don't we? And it's a big, expensive time conscious. You got to seize the moment, get out and enjoy it. But at the same time, there's a lot of upkeep for it. So for Danielle to be in the background, as your obviously number one supporter, I'm just glad that she's here because she doesn't get on a lot of the runs. And I'm glad she's off camera right now, but I'm saying, hey, girl. And I'm glad that she's able to make it, and because none of us really believed that you had a wife.
She's a great sport. She loves to go fast. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Well, we're having a nice day here at Ferro Blanco as we make our way around the dock and find a lot of happy people having the very first poker run of 2020 with the Florida Powerboat Club. Rocco, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Stu. Great job.
Thank you.
Awesome.
And it looks like everybody is settled in here at the Island Fish Company. It's on the bay side at the north end of Marathon, and a very popular lunch spot, not only for locals, but for certainly a lot of travelers passing through, and also for boaters because they really have a fantastic docking situation here. We could easily get 20 to 25 boats here on any given day. The docks are in excellent condition, but the bay is exposed to the north, so if you get a north wind, it can be a little bumpy, so it's important that if you do raft up, to have plenty of lines and fenders ready. Now, what you can't see here, but geographically, it's only about a half a mile to the entrance of the Vaca Cut. And just a little important info for those traveling through this area, along the Vaca Cut is Captain Hook's Marina. It's a good fuel stop for anybody that might want to avoid the big lineups on the larger events like the Key West Poker Run, if you don't want to get backed up with the long fuel lines at Faro Blanco Marina. So as we continue to enjoy this beautiful day, let's wander inside the Island Fish Company and let's see what everyone's having for lunch today.
Oh, you're the man. I love this place. Chowder's perfect. Hammer down.
And we noticed a few of our cat teams were missing at this lunch stop. Well, they headed to Key West. Well, we had a wonderful weekend with all of our boating friends, but it was fun to ride along with Mark and Eileen Fisher and their friends on this Deep Impact 399. It was a perfect chance to catch up with the company owner, Mark Fisher, to have a few words.
Well, just had my first ride on this brand new Deep Impact 399. When I say brand new, it is fresh from the factory with Mercury Racing 450s. Mark Fisher, the owner of Deep Impact, here with us once again, our sponsor on this very first event here in 2020. Mark, the boat seems to be running great, and you did a great job pacing everybody today for the little fun run.
Yeah, Stu, we had a really great time out there today. The weather is just beautiful. The sun, the lighting for the photos, everything was really good today. And I got a chance to run the new 399 with the Quad 450s, which is my first time running the boat. And really impressed with these motors. These things have come a long, long way from where outboards have started. Let me tell you, the acceleration, the power of the boat, the speed of the top end speed of the boat is amazing. This boat is actually a gel coat boat that we put a little splash of paint on. It really came out nice. And the gel coat is easy to maintain.
A few other nuances, though, I saw in looking at this model. I saw some really cool lighting up on the T-top. I saw these lights glowing when the boat was at the dock at night. The actual rub rail was glowing. So that's something you knew that you're trying out?
Yeah, that's a new invention that actually Ron came up with that. And he did that light, LED light around the whole rub rail, and it kind of looks cool at night because of the nice glow. The light bar up on top of the boat is a new LED light. It's really intensely bright. When you turn that on at night, it lights up the whole neighborhood. Yeah. Really, really bright.
Obviously, this 399 model has evolved, and you can just keep updating it. It is a custom boat, so I'm sure you're coming up with new ideas as you get new customers and want to try something different. But clearly, this gel coat with this Audi gray, I guess, whatever it's called.
Yeah, I think it was an Audi color he used.
That is something that's a trend for a lot of the boaters, are getting away from the metallics and getting into these different color spectrums. But anyway, today, what a great day, a beautiful Saturday here in Marathon. Let's talk a little bit about Deep Impact, and as you go into 2020, you had your best showing ever in Key West this recent November. I think we had at least 10 or 12 Deep Impacts registered for the run. So clearly, in the 5 years or so since you took over the company, you've made a lot of changes and developed a lot of new boats. What do we have down in the pipeline from Deep Impact that's going to be new?
Well, the biggest, most exciting thing that I'm very excited about is we have the new 499, which is in design right now. It's going to be a 50-foot boat. It's going to be a 5-motor boat. It's going to be a big boat. We're hoping with the new power now, we're still going to be pretty fast with something that size. We're still going to be pushing like an 80-mile-an-hour top end on something like that.
Thanks a lot for your support here at the Winter Poker Run, the first event for 2020. Great weather, a nice group, about 25 boats, and a nice vibe, I would say, with this smaller group. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I mean, you and I have done these events for so many years, and the small groups always are a lot more fun because you get to talk to everybody. It's hard when you're in Key West and there's 1,000 people, you know? But
believe me, I know.
but this was a really great venue here, and this is a great spot. It really is. I love it here.
I think that we'd all agree that this first weekend in the Florida Keys with FPC kicking off our 2020 poker run season was a big success for everyone who attended. The weather was fantastic. Everybody ran great. And I have to say that with these smaller events, the vibe was super chill. And that's not something that you're going to get on the big poker run events with over 100 teams participating. So thanks to all of our participants who joined us here for this January 2020 event. And of course to all of our returning manufacturing sponsors who support the Florida Powerboat Club. Of course, we've been managing through some very tough times here with this COVID-19 crisis, which has put Florida Powerboat Club on at least a 6-month hiatus for doing poker runs. So we're just glad to be back on the waterways and bringing you this content here on our YouTube channel, so all of you can be right here in the boat with us, enjoying this Florida powerboating lifestyle. So that wraps up part 2 of our continuing coverage of the Florida Powerboat Club's 2020 event series. Our next episode features the Miami Boat Show Poker Run, which celebrated 25 years as about 60 teams took flight from Miami down to Key Largo for a total of 4 days of boating fun in the Florida sun. Of course, this event is tied in directly with the Miami International Boat Show, which took place just a few days earlier. So we'll have plenty of highlights as we wandered around to visit with our sponsors and leading manufacturers in the performance marine trade. And just a quick reminder that we are back in the FPC studio in Pompano Beach, so we have plenty more episodes to come. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and remember to click that notification bell so you get updated every time a new episode is released. If you're looking to join the club or find out information about upcoming poker run events, be sure to go to our website, flpowerboat.com, or you can check out our Florida Powerboat Club Facebook page. We also share our content and updates on Instagram and on Twitter. So thanks for watching. This is Stu Jones from the Pompano Beach FPC studios, along with editor Ryan McCoy. We thank you guys for staying with us through these tough times in the COVID-19 crisis. We are going to do our best to keep events coming, but we are also going to obey these guidelines that are put forth by our government and healthcare officials. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. Be safe out there, and remember to wear your life jackets. Florida Powerboat Club's 2020 series sponsors include Deep Impact Custom Boats and their associated brand, Blackwater Boats, Nortec High Performance Boats, Midnight Express Powerboats, Myco Trailers, Performance Boat Center, Mystic Powerboats, Superior Communications, and Mercury Racing Wide Open.